Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing awesome. My name is Ali Mustafa, and I work as a senior developer advocate here at Postman. How are you folks doing? Give me a hi in the chat. Yeah. Hello, hello, hello. That's super awesome. You're going good? Okay, perfect. Okay, before we get started, let's do a little icebreaker. What I want you to do is tell me where you're joining from. I'm joining virtually from Mumbai. Tell me your city name. If you're joining from outside India, tell me, which country you're joining from. Till the time, I'll share my screen and set it up. By the way, I see already a lot of people energetic in the chat. That's how the energy should be till the very end of this workshop, because we are going to complete this and earn a certification. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, let me quickly go ahead and share my screen. Perfect. I hope you are able to see my screen now. Awesome. Oh my God, the energy in the chat is super awesome. Let it be that way, right? Till the very end. Yeah, people joining from Delhi, Lucknow, Pune, Nasik, Nagpur, Chennai. That's awesome. Bengaluru. Perfect, perfect. Okay, so today we are here to learn about APIs, application programming interfaces. So let's dive deeper into that. Today we'll start from what are APIs to introduction to Postman, and then move further into talking about how Postman works, do hands-on activity, and kind of get really into it, right? Again, I have been promoting API literacy since 2020 with Postman. And I also have a TEDx talk. So if you ever feel demotivated, you can just Google my name in front of that ad at TEDx, and you'll find my talk. It talks about machine learning, way back in 2020. So yeah, that's about me. This is me speaking at different places. I wish we could click a photo like this, but you folks are joining me virtually. Don't worry, I travel to different places in person, and if you ever meet me, do click a photo. That will be our memory. So what is the end result of this workshop? The end result is that you get a digital badge, which is verifiable, and you get a certificate which you can add in your resume. So you learn about APIs and you get a free certification. What more do you want? Definitely, it is going to be an add-on to your existing resume. So that is, anything which you learn extra obviously never goes to waste. So yeah, that's in-house for everyone. But we also have some swag giveaways. Now, what are these giveaways about? Very simple. You go ahead and share whatever you're learning right here on X and Twitter. Both are the same thing. Why I'm saying and, but go ahead and share your opinion, whatever you learn from, here in this session, and summarize it in a simple, tweet or a simple summary, and share it with images for sure, and get a chance to win this awesome swag. I'll talk a little bit more about this a little bit later, but remember, this challenge is going on, so you can participate and win some super awesome swags. The one like I'm wearing. Okay, so let's get started and learn about APIs. Now, imagine that you walk into a restaurant. What's the very first thing are you going to do? Yeah. Please be interactive in the chat. I really love your energy. Let that flow in the very right direction, which is the chat section. Yeah, it's overwhelming to see so many people chatting at once, but let's put that energy right there, and you realize it. Yeah. Go sit at a table. That's amazing. Yeah. Then what are you going to do when you walked into a restaurant? Directly shout that you want a biryani? No, for sure not. So you're going to grab a table and sit down. And what happens then? Do you directly go to the chef? Yeah, not really, right? Why? Because chef is in the kitchen, you're sitting on the table. So who facilitates this interaction between you and the cook? The chef, who is kind of building and building this awesome and sweet dishes for you. The waiter, exactly, you guessed it right? The wait person. Now the waiter, what they essentially do is they bring a menu to you. They tell you, okay, these are the things which you can go ahead and you can basically order from our restaurant. So if you're in McDonald's, you cannot order a vada pav. In Mumbai, vada pavs are amazing, better than anything else. But you cannot order that in McDonald's. So they'll have a set menu, right? You will have to go ahead and order from that, and then the waiter will take it back to the cook, get it ready, that okay, whatever you wanted, in this case you are looking for biryani. So you get the biryani cooked, presented in a very good manner, and then the waiter serves you that, right? So it's a very simple interaction of how waiter plays as a level of abstraction between you and the kitchen, which is the back end, right, where everything is getting cooked. You are sitting in a cozy AC, on a table with cushion, but the chef is not in that exact place. It's very humid, they are cooking stuff, and they are kind of working out. So absolutely, you don't want to kind of see that, you don't want to see what is happening behind the scene. So you are sitting on the table, and then the waiter enables that to work. Exactly how an API works. So imagine this waiter as an API, and APIs are the waiters of the internet. Okay, so they bring data from one endpoint to other endpoint, one application to other application, and enable the world to communicate. So imagine the same scenario where you are requesting a particular dish. The waiter goes to the server, which is your kitchen, where this is prepared, and then the kitchen kind of gives it back to the API, which is our waiter, and then the waiter kind of serves that to us, gives us back in form of data or whatever we have asked it to do. So that's a very simple analogy of explaining APIs as a digital restaurant. I know this is a very universal example. So yeah, remember, this session is for absolute beginners, but if you know a thing or two about APIs, definitely you'll learn something more. But if you don't know about anything about APIs, you're going to learn everything from scratch, right? So what does API stand for? API stands for Application Programming Interfaces, the typical textbook definition, right? Don't worry, I'm not going to bore you. Now imagine these interfaces as anything and everything. So starting from your watch to your mobile phone to the system you're connected to right now, to a kiosk machine at an airport or a railway station, or your ATM machines, everything acts as an interfaces. Now these interfaces connect to the internet, and kind of go ahead and do things for you. For example, if you want to look at the weather on your watch, it will go fetch that weather, not from your mobile phone, but from an API, which has satellites available in the sky, which can monitor the weather and tell what exactly is the weather looking like outside, right? So imagine something as simple as looking at the weather. You are able to fetch it via an external API and give it available in your watch, which is such a tiny device, right? So yeah, that is the power of APIs. There's an API for literally everything. There's a cat API. If you don't love cats, there's a dog API. If you don't love cats and dogs like me, I love crocodiles. Yeah, crocodiles. They are so sweet. Unless they bite you, then they are no longer sweet, and you're decreased from this world. But let's keep that aside. But crocodiles are fun. If you see funny videos of crocodiles, they are real cuties. And I've trained my Instagram reel section to show me only crocodile videos in this world of amazing videos being played. So yeah, I created an API to show you cute crocodile videos and photos. So there's an API for everything out there. Oh yeah, I see someone mentioned in the chat the Yoing guy. Yeah, I watch him a lot. And there's also a Yoing girl, if you actually see enough of the internet. um cool. So there's an API for songs, Spotify. There's an API for Google. I'll actually talk about that example as well. But there's an API for literally everything out there, and if there is not, there's an opportunity for you to do business and create an API, if there's not enough APIs available in the world. Awesome. Now the final analogy, I promise. Okay, so have you worked with Lego? Yeah. Played with Lego. No one walks with Lego. Yeah, anyone only at the Lego store for sure. But have you played with Legos? These small plastic blocks which you can attach and build whatever you want. Yeah. I played with them a lot when I was a kid. I still play with them. I'm an adult, they're expensive now. Because when I was a kid, I did not know, how much it cost, but now I know. So absolutely they are, expensive. But what they enable you to do is to think beyond, right? So you can build a car if you like to build a car, but you can dismantle it, build it a train, convert it into a plane. Go ahead, build buildings, build bridges, whatever you imagine you can build with Legos. And the only reason that is because each Lego block comes with a functionality, and that functionality combined with other blocks, you can create something massive. And that's how APIs are these small Lego bricks. Each one of them have a functionality. They all connect together and build your application. And I'll be like, okay, it's fun, like all of that. But can you give me a real world example? Let me give you a real world example of Google. How many Google services do you use? Name them, like Gmail, and so on and so forth. Till then, I'll have a sip of water. Oh, where's my bottle? Right here. Okay. Looks like I kept it somewhere. Oh, yeah. Okay. I see in the chat, Gmail, Maps, a lot of things. Keep it going. Keep it going. YouTube. Yeah, 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 yeah. Nice. YouTube, obviously. So now imagine if for every service you had to go ahead and create a different login ID and different password. Can you remember them? Not me for sure. Yeah. So see the use case? They have tons of services available. Now, not just Google services, but also other services where you can use sign in with Google button, right? So they created an auth API, back then when they were kind of creating Google. Obviously they realized that this problem is obviously going to, show up in the future. Now if they hard coded it, it would be very difficult for you to use that. But what they did was they created an API, an auth API, which enabled them to not just authenticate you to their products, but also enable other developers to use this API and put a button called as sign in with Google. Have you seen this button? I use it a lot because I don't want to remember passwords, who wants to. So I just remember my Google, email ID and password. And then I am able to sign in with Google anywhere and everywhere where I can see that button. So that's a very simple utility of how APIs turn into Lego play, Lego blocks and Lego bricks. Awesome. And I'll be like, okay, what is Postman then? Postman is an collaborative API platform. I focus and emphasize on the word collaborative. So our goal is to build a world where you're able to do everything with an API within one single umbrella. So you're not just able to design your APIs, test your APIs, mock your APIs, document it, and discover amazing APIs, but also do all of this collaboratively with your team. And that's what Postman is all about. Now you'll be like, why should I learn about Postman? Very valid question, because Postman is an industry standard tool when it comes to working with APIs. Postman is the tool you might want to use and you might have heard about. 98% of Fortune 500 companies use Postman. Companies like PayPal, Kroger, Philips, all of them trust Postman with their APIs. And not just them, but 500,000 plus orgs use Postman internally, with around 28 million plus developers. So yeah, it's a tool which is very well adopted in the industry. And you can kind of go ahead and walk around with it to know why. And we are going to do that in today's session. So let's not delay it further. Let's go ahead and open this amazing guide, which is a one-stop guide for all of you to go ahead and learn together via notes. So let me open this in a new tab, and you can see GirlScript summer of code. And this document actually contains everything for you. So what we are going to do is kind of pin that in the chat and spam it right now so that you all are on this page. If you're on this page, give me a thumbs up in the chat and I will know that you all are here. Come on, let's be very quick because we have a lot of things to do hands-on. So I want you to be quick. Okay, let's see. Yeah, set. Perfect. I see a lot of thumbs ups in the chat. Amazing. Oh, link. we have pinned it. We'll send it again in the chat. You can also remember the short link. So yeah, don't worry about that. Okay, let's go to step number one. Step number one is to go ahead and register as a student. Let's click on this hyperlink and it will open a new tab where I want to register myself as a student into the system so that I can get a certificate. Let's add our very first name. Let's add the last name. If you don't have a last name, you can use a dot. Let's add an email. Let's add country of residence, where you're joining or where you're residing from. So I can go ahead and I can select India. Are you enrolled in a university? If you're a student, obviously you are enrolled, so select yes. If you're a professional, you can select no and add your organization details. Let's add the university name, the URL, and add the course title, whatever you're studying. If you're studying computer science, add that. Year of graduation. So this is your expected year of graduation. If you're not graduated yet, absolutely fine. If you're going to graduate this year, in 2024, you can do a +1 and add 2025, just in case, like, who knows? No, don't worry. Just add your year of graduation. That was a sarcasm. If you understand it, that's awesome. Okay, I'm going to crack a lot of jokes, not the funny ones, but, the almost funny ones. Okay, how did you hear about us? You heard about us using workshop. If you want to receive updates from us, in funny way, subscribe to our newsletter and agree to the privacy policy. Awesome. So I hope you all have filled this form. As soon as you do that, hit that submit button and you will see a thank you page. Let's do it quickly. Yeah, everyone done? Everyone done? This is where we got that page from. Register in the Postman student program, the very first link. Let's hit submit. Awesome. You will see the thank you page. Let's keep that for a while and then we'll move further from there. Done. Come on, folks. Everyone done? Let me check. Perfect. That's awesome. Done. Okay. Now what I want you to do is I want you to click here and open this in a new tab. It will automatically open in a new tab where I want you to register for the academy. Academy is where we will track your progress. So from the time you're going ahead and you are kind of building something to the time you are actually doing something. So we are going to track your progress from end to end. You can come back, you can save your progress and all of that. And that is where we will be awarding your badge. So let's make sure that you all are part of the academy. So click here and register for the academy. Now you have to sign in using Postman. So if you already have a Postman account, that is super awesome. You can sign in, but if you don't, then you can sign up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a Google sign in button. I already showed you that example, which is an awesome example. So I'm going to use this option, but feel free to use this option as well if you do not have a Google account, right? So some people use a different service. In that case, you can create a free account as well. So let me go ahead and sign in with Google because that is like the easiest option for me. So sign in with Google. Select the Google account. And it will ask you for further details. So my name again, Ali Mustafa. Your role is going to be student. Now, if you are, a developer, you can select that as well. Hit continue. And boom, you are shifted directly into the academy. Now, if you have used not this option, if you have used create an account option, then it might ask you to verify your email address using an email. So in that case, you can check your inbox and you will see the verification link. So you can verify your, email. But here we have used sign in with Google for the ease of it. Okay. So yeah, let's go ahead, click on student programs here. Okay, I'll wait till here. Okay, I know I'm a little fast, so I'll wait here. Let everyone come to this page and give me a thumbs up emoji, and then I'll move. Oh, how did I come to this page? Come on, folks, it's easy. I use this click here in the thank you page. How did I go to this page? Step number 1. You can see actually we have given step 1, step 2, and step 3. So yeah, please, do these steps. It's very simple. Step 1, go to this page, fill this out. you will then go to page number 2, which is thank you page. Click here and create a free Postman account. You can use sign in with Google. That's the best way, which I recommend. And then you will see, a page here. Okay, I see a lot of people thumbs up. I'm gonna move ahead. Okay, now click on student programs. You can see multiple options, but I will recommend you to go ahead and click on student programs. So once you click on student programs, you will see Postman API Fundamental Student Expert course. That is the course we are going to do today. So please go ahead and select this option. Okay, so go ahead and select this option. Awesome. Now I want you to click on start here button so that we all can get started and complete the course together. Cool. Let's click start here. Perfect. Now we are going to, you can see 0 of 1 completed. So we are going to complete this course together to earn the certificate. Okay. So let's click on get started. And you can see 0 of 37 lessons. So total of 37 lessons we have to complete, and we are right now at 0. Don't worry, we are going to be very quick, and we are going to be, swiftly completing throughout this workshop and, complete the whole course. Let's click on the start button. Awesome. Now you can see that we are, here, and we are going to act as a librarian. Okay, so imagine that you are a digital librarian and you're going to use a library API. So we're going to do a little role playing, here, and you'll act as a librarian. You'll go ahead, manage the books, and maintain a collection, which you can reuse, daily to kind of get the work done, right? So yeah, welcome on board, librarian. Cool. Let's click on next. Now we have already done this registration, right? Yeah, we have done it, so we don't need to redo it. Let's go next. Perfect. Now let's go ahead and, kind of talk about APIs. Now we already did talk about application programming interfaces. To simplify this, API is a contract that allows one code to talk to other code, in very, very simple terms. So that's what an API is all about, right? In technical terms, right? Now, if you see why APIs are important, you can see that, in our state of art report, you can see that a lot of developers use APIs, but also other roles like front-end developers, technical, solutions architect, product managers, data engineers, everyone uses APIs. So yeah, it's not just developers who are going to use APIs, but everyone uses APIs in every single industry, as mentioned here in this report. So yeah, that's why it's important to learn about APIs. Now we have already covered this digital restaurant example, right? Oh yeah, we have done that. So that's not a problem. Let's go to next. Okay, so there are different types of APIs which you can use, and obviously there are different architectures like SOAP, not the SOAP which you use to bet, obviously, SOAP architecture. Uh, and REST, again, not sleeping REST, but REST APIs architecture. Again, remember, yeah, whoever, named these is amazing. SOAP and REST. I can remember both of these in my, dreams. Then comes GraphQL, gRPC, and so many more, which you will find a day in and day out at so many different places, right? So yeah, let's go ahead and work with REST APIs for this particular session. Awesome. It's quiz time, and who doesn't love quizzes, right? We all love quizzes. So let's go ahead and get started with the very first quiz. Let's start the quiz. You folks are going to select the options for me. Okay. So what is an API? Pick the best answer from one of the choices below. Yeah. Tell me ABCD in the chat. A file format for images, Apple's new iPhone programming language, a contract that allows code to talk to other code, or a unit used for storage measurement. I know the answer for this one. Oh, everyone says C, so I'll select C. Okay, let's go next. What are some different types of APIs? Absolutely. This is a multi-choice question, so give me A, B, C, D like that. Yeah. Oh, where is this? Folks, you have not registered yet. Please do so. If you are joined the session late, go ahead, do the registration process, because this is a YouTube video. You can rewind a little bit back. I'm not going to repeat myself twice or thrice. I repeated myself twice already. Okay. What are some different types of APIs? REST APIs, GraphQL, gRPC for sure. Electric shocks, not very much. Okay, let's hit submit. Yay, we got 100 on 100. Exactly like online exams, where everyone scores 100 on 100. Don't tell anyone. Okay, let's go next. Perfect. What's a Postman? We have already talked about Postman. Yeah, Postman is an API platform which allows you to kind of walk around with APIs. Earlier, we used to work with curl, we still do, but working with curl, there is obviously a lot of problems. You cannot collaborate. You can not version control. You can, there's a lot of problems if you are, working directly with it. So what Postman allows you to do is it gives you an intuitive UI where you can comment, you can share your API with other people, you can document it and do a lot more things. Awesome. Now, at Postman, our vision is to have an API first world where there are 100 million developers connected through APIs, and APIs take the center stage as primary building blocks. Our goal is to have APIs as considered as number one priority, make APIs easily consumable, and make APIs easily discoverable. And we are working towards that goal. And you will actually find a lot more info in this API First World novel, which actually has all the details. You will actually go ahead. If you love reading novels, this one definitely you'll love to kind of read about. I also have few hard copies, which I'm going to throw in our social challenge. If you won't remember that, it's still going on, so participate in that. But yeah, that's something which is really awesome, which you should definitely check it out. Cool. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to get started with Postman for web. That's a full-fledged working application. We don't need to download anything yet because we can do everything on the web. But if you want to download Postman, you can go ahead and download Postman from their office's site. I'll actually show you that as well later on in the course. But for now, we will go ahead with the web version. Cool. We have already, kind of signed up for Postman, so we don't need to kind of sign up again because we are already there. So let's go and click on next. Quiz number 2. We are so much, fast, and we are already at quiz number 2. Let's click on start. So Postman has a vision for API first world. In the API first world, APIs are considered as number one priorities. API will make you famous on TikTok. APIs are easily consumable. API stands for Application Postman Interface, or APIs are easily discoverable. Again, multiple choice questions. Give me the answers in the chat, folks. Let's be quick. Yes, APIs are number one priority. Absolutely. APIs will make you famous on TikTok. Yes. APIs are consumable. Yes. And APIs are discoverable. Awesome. Nice answers, folks. No, not right answer. APIs will not make you famous on TikTok. With my humor, yes, not on TikTok because it's banned in India, but Instagram, yeah, Instagram Reels. Uh, okay, let's hit submit. Okay, so we got one around. By the way, you can connect with me here, just below the certificate part. You can connect with me on different platforms. You remember this document, right? Yeah, we have pinned this in the chat. So you can connect with me on different platforms, and I share a lot of info there. So for sure. Cool. Awesome. Let's go next. Okay, so now we have to go ahead and create a workspace for our, uh, library API to work, to kind of endpoint and document everything, right? So we are going to create a blank workspace and then name it Postman API Fundamental Student Expert, where we can go ahead and then add all our APIs together, stitch them together. So remember, whenever you're starting a new project, I highly, highly recommend that you create a workspace. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So let's go to postman.com. By the way, you can also click on the hyperlink, which is mentioned right here. Yeah, let's do that. Let's copy Postman API Fundamental Student Expert, the name of the workspace we want to name it. So remember, we are going to use two tabs. The one is Academy and one is Postman. So you can actually create a split screen and put both of them side by side. So you can actually kind of do things. Or you can, kind of do back and forth like I am doing, which is also fine. Okay. So how are we going to create the workspace? Right on the very top, you can see the workspace option. Click on it on the drop down, and you will see a create workspace button just like this. So we are going to use this button and we are going to create a workspace for ourselves. Let's do that quickly. Okay. Now we need to name this workspace. So we are going to obviously select the type of workspace. Now you can see there are multiple templates which we also provide, but for this we are going to use the blank one. Okay. Let's name it Postman API Fundamentals Student Expert. Now you can make it public also, but I don't recommend that because we are using it for our learning. So we are going to use only for me, which is a personal workspace. So I can only access it. Hit create button and you are good. Awesome. Now, if you miss that, I'll show you again. You go to workspaces on the very top, click on create a workspace, select the option as blank, add the name. Where did I get the name from? Obviously from the academy, and pasted it right there, and that's done. Perfect. Now, what's a workspace? Workspace contains a lot more information. It contains collection, your environment variables. It also has history where it will show you all the APIs you have queried. So don't use dirty APIs. It will be there in history. You can delete them, but just saying. Okay. And you can also configure multiple elements if you're using, other elements apart from this. You can also configure that. Cool, cool. Perfect. Now that we have created the workspace, let's go ahead and create a collection. Now imagine collections are nothing but they store and help you organize your APIs. So whatever APIs you're going to work with, you can have multiple collections, you can have folders within collections. So consider collections as a way to manage your APIs. Now, the easiest way to do that is using this plus sign or using this new button. But we are going to go ahead and we are going to use this particular plus sign. So let's go ahead, click on that plus sign and click on blank collection. Or you can click on new and also collection, both will work. But I'm going to use this option, click on blank collection. Now, what do I want to name it? I want to name it Postman Library API V2. Okay. Now, where did I get that name from? You can actually go scroll down and you can actually see the name. By the way, I have small videos embedded within the courses, which you can actually go ahead and watch. So it's like video of me watching a video of me inside me, yeah, Inception, crazy stuff. But or you can follow me live. So that's an example, obviously. So you can see Postman Library API V2. That's what we named it. Amazing. Okay, let me erase this. Perfect. So now that we are here, let's go to next. Now this is our very first hands-on part where we are going ahead and we are querying a real API. So let's do that. Let's create our very first request and we will name it get books request. Okay. And inside that, we are going to query this particular URL or an API endpoint to get some books in return. So you can see the screenshot here of how they are showing it. Again, there's a video of explaining how to do that. So let's go here. You can see add a request, hyperlink here. Click on that. It will add a new request. Let's name it get books because we are getting multiple books. Now you can see the method is going to be get method. I'll talk a little bit and explain what all of this is all about. But for now, let's get that experience of sending something and receiving something back. That feeling of achievement. Okay, let's copy this URL. Make sure you don't copy any spaces. So you just copy the URL till the edge. Okay, let's paste that URL right here. Control S, please save every request, else you're going to have a hard time later on. So save this request and hit a send button. What you will see is a response with multiple books added right there. So yeah, very simple. We went ahead, created a new request via that blue button, named it get books, added the URL, hit that send button, and then what we receive is a response. So we click on the body and we can actually see the response of multiple books added And you can see it took 915 milliseconds to run that, and we got a status 200 okay as a response. So that's our aha moment that we achieved. We send a request, we receive a response, and we are going to walk around doing a lot more than this for sure. But yeah, this is our very beginning of the aha moment. Perfect. Did everyone get that? Yes, yes, yes. Give me an orange heart in the chat, folks. Come on, let's do this. Yeah, let's do this quickly. Perfect. How did I do this? It's very simple, folks. I just follow the instruction, nothing magic. You can rewind it and watch it if you want to, if you're not catched up yet. Yes. Okay. Perfect. Amazing. Okay. Now, what we did actually here, let me explain what we actually did here. Okay. So, few things. Let me divide this UI into 3 different parts, right? The part number 1, I'll make it green, this particular part, right? So now what we are doing on this particular part is we are building our request. Okay. So what we are actually doing is we are going ahead and building our request. So the very first thing what we are doing is we are setting the method. There are multiple methods which we can use: get, post, put patch, delete. These are the 5 methods you need to remember. Get method helps you retrieve information. Post method helps you add information to the server. Put or patch method helps you to update information on the server. And delete methods helps you to delete information on the server. You remember CRUD operations? Yeah, or I call it CRUD because why not? Yes, CRUD operations: create, read, update, delete. So read is get method, create is post method, update is put or patch method, and delete is delete method. Then comes the URL itself, right? So the URL, where are you exactly sending this request? Then you will see more information which you can add. Like for example, you can add params, you can filter out, you can add authorization, you can add headers, you can add body, and you can add scripting. We will learn about all of them a little bit later. But once you send that request, you receive a response. Okay. So let me erase this line so that I can actually show you the response segment. So this is the response, and you can see in the response, you can see the body and you can see the test. So here we have not written any test, so we can't see any test, but we can see the body. And inside body is our data, which is exactly the gold which we are looking at, right? So we have all of these books which are getting returned, in the response. Now, one more important aspect is this. What is this? This is the status code, which basically means what happened with your request. So if the status code is 200, it basically means your request went successful. 200 family means success. So meaning 200, 201, 204, something like that. But if you get a different status code, for example, have you ever heard about 404? Yes, tell me in the chat. Have you heard about request, status code 404? Yeah. 404 not found, right? Right. Everyone says that, yeah. So that's also a kind of a status code which tells that, okay, whatever you're looking for does not exist at this particular location. Okay. So you can see there are multiple methods. And then if you scroll down, there are multiple status code ranges. For example, 200 stands for success. 300 stands for redirection, 400 family stands for client error, and 500 family stands for server error. You don't need to remember all this because there are a lot of codes to remember. For example, 400 says bad request, 401 says unauthorized, a lot of them. So you can look at Postman and you can obviously hover over this and read what is happening and understand what is actually happening right there. Cool. Okay. Now, one more part which is remaining is the URL itself. So if you look at the URL itself is divided into multiple different parts. The very first part is the protocol, right? So you can have multiple protocols like HTTP, HTTPS, WebSocket. So the first part of the URL is the protocol. Now, the second part of the URL is what? The second part of the URL is the domain name or the IP address of where exactly are you querying, where exactly is your server located. Okay. And the last part is the path where exactly is your resource located on that particular server. Simple. So protocol, the domain name or IP address, and then the path where it is exactly located on this particular server. So a URL is made up of these three tiny details. I'll be like, okay, give me an example, a real world example. Let me give you a real world example. So let's go to google.com. This gives us the homepage of google.com. But I want to go to Drive. So I can add a / Drive and it will take me to Drive. I can add a / Maps. It will take me to Maps. I can add / Gmail and it will take me to Gmail. Oh, we saw the email which we registered on. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, perfect. So you can see that path decides where you are going to be landed, right? Okay. I hope this was very simple, simple. Okay. Let's do a little quiz of our own. Okay. Now you're participating in the social media challenge. By the way, if you're participating in the social media challenge, you can actually see right here, you can actually win a lot of swags, but you can also see that we have created a little shortcut for you. So you don't need to remember these hashtags. You can just use the Twitter API to do that needful. And you can add your, learning there. Easy peasy. But also you can copy paste this and please do not forget to fill out this form because how will we know that you have participated in the challenge and how will we contact you? So make sure you fill out this form as well. So regarding a Twitter challenge, you are creating a tweet. Which method are we going to use? Yes. Post method. Absolutely right. Now you're going to retrieve information. Which method are you going to use? I want to retrieve your tweets, whatever you have tweeted. Get method, right? Exactly. Now if I'm going to update it, you made a mistake. You have the blue subscription, you're rich, I get it. So you're updating your tweet. Yeah. Put or patch method. Now if you're like me, I don't have Twitter Blue, so I'm going to delete the tweet and retweet it, the easiest way. So delete method and then post method, right? Exactly. Amazing. My audience is intelligent. That's amazing. Okay, super awesome. By the way, the explanation of the URL segment, which I mentioned, which is right here. Cool. So this is what we call the request response pattern. We send a request, we receive a response. By the way, it's very simple. We already kind of documented it, so we don't need to go over it again. Quiz number 3. Now this one is going to be a little tricky. Yeah, because we talked about status codes and URL itself. Okay. You are given 3 blocks of text. Each block is a part of a URL request URL. Which of the answers is the correct? I'll give you some time to think about it. Till then, I'll sip of water. Yes. The first one is protocol for sure. The second one is host for sure. But the last one is not proxy, it's path. Yeah, a lot of you guessed it right, but a lot of you did not. Okay. Next question. You are given a table of response status codes. Using only code ranges, choose the answer in the correct order. Oh, this is like, that Spider-Man meme, everything looks very similar. Yeah. You are going to tell me the answer because we are giving an online quiz. So yeah. Um, tell me. A, B, C, D. So the first one is success for sure, which eliminates A and C, but there's still also B, D, and E. Last one is 500, which is server error. So I'm going to go with the last one and hit submit. Perfect. We got 100 on 100 again. Okay, awesome. Let's go next. Okay, now let's go ahead and make convert this URL into a variable. Because why do we want to type it again and again? If we convert it into a variable, we can reuse it. The whole idea of variable is to dry. Don't repeat yourself. Okay. So we don't want to repeat ourselves. We, instead of typing this URL again and again, let's store it in a variable and we can reference that variable whenever we want to use that URL. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that. But we don't want to reference the path, right? The path is fine. We just want to reference the URL itself. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's go here. And I'm going to show you this. So, look very carefully. So what we are doing is we are selecting from M. We are selecting from M all the way till H, and then release your cursor and you will see set as variable. Click on it, set as a new variable, name the variable as base U capital RL. Scope is going to be the collection level variable because we are going to use it throughout the collection. Now you can select multiple scopes, but for our course, we are going to select collection level variable, hit set variable. Perfect. The variable is set. What we are going to do, before we hit send, we are going to save Control S, or you can use the button. Oh, sorry. Or you can use the button on the top right as well. So make sure you are saving it, saving the request. Okay. Send it. Everything works exactly the same. Why would anything change? Because, we just used, we just created a variable. I'll be like, okay, where is this variable? Remember the U is capital, okay, in base URL. Now, if you are like, okay, if you did some mistake in creating that variable, where can you edit it? You can go to collection name and you can click on variables. Okay. So again, I'll show you via drawing so that it's easier. So go to collection name and go to variable section. Now, if you click on the variable section, you will actually see the base URL available right there with the values as indicated. You can change the value and that will change it to across everything, across everywhere you're using that variable. Okay. So remember that. Easy peasy. Yeah, variables are actually lifesavers. You can use variables to do a lot of stuff. And we are going to use that, by the way. Okay, nice. So this is done. Where are my variables? You can actually see that, right? And you can make changes if you want to. Perfect. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you're till here, and then we'll move on to the next request, which is query params. Very interesting, very easy. Yeah. Okay, everyone is good. That is amazing. You folks are champions. Perfect. Okay. Now let's go ahead and see what are query parameters. Now query parameters are very, very simple. What they allow you to do is filter out details or tell the server more information, or tell the server more info, right? In a very simple way, they are a key value pair. So there's a key and then there's a value associated with the key. For example, here you can see we are mentioning the key as size, and the size is 500 by 400, which tells the server, okay, I want this particular photo in a landscape orientation and the size is 500 by 400. Now, not every server will be equipped to do that. So yeah, you have to code that on the back end, but the API will provide you with examples of the query parameters you can use. For example, in Google, you can use a query parameter queue to search for whatever you want directly using the URL. So you can go ahead, you can type the URL and you can use that. Perfect. Awesome. Let's go to next and do that actually. So our API, as you can see here in the documentation, by the way, you can go ahead and read the whole documentation, but I'm not going to show you that because I've already read all the documentation for you. But feel free to read it. Okay. It's the easiest way to get things done. Our API accepts genre, which is fiction or any other genre which you can, which you want to add. Checked out, which is true or false, meaning that if the book is available or not, and search, which basically means searching for a particular book or an author against the keyword. So let's go ahead and get all the fiction books. Now, Postman allows you to duplicate work, which is obviously the best part of it. So what we are going to do is instead of creating a whole new request, we are going to duplicate this request. How we are going to do that? So go to hover over get books request. You will see these three dots. Click on it and click on duplicate. Yeah, again I'll show you. Go to get books, hover over this request, and you will see these three dots on the right. Click on it and click on duplicate. Obviously, we don't want to name it get books copy. So let's rename it to get fiction books. Nice. Okay. Now the URL we don't need to change because it's already set, so we don't want to change. But remember the params I told you, right? This is the part where we design the request, right? So let's go ahead and change the parameter. So here you can see the params. Now here you can see there is query params which we want to add, and there is key, and then there is value. So we want only fiction books. So we have to use genre, right? And now if you don't remember that, you can go back here and you can actually see, right, they have given it right here. So let's go ahead and add John and add that as fiction. You can see that the URL changes and adds that exactly as intended. Let's zero it out, save it, and send the request. Now if you send the request, you'll actually see that the returned value will be less than our previous request because we have filtered out. And now if you see the genre section, you will only find fiction books because we have filtered that out by telling the server via a query parameter. Can we add more than query parameter? Absolutely yes. And that's what we are going to do next. But before we go next, give me a thumbs up in the chat if you are done till here. Come on, folks. Yes, yes, yes. Done, done, done. Perfect. You're enjoying this? Yeah, it's fun, right? Okay, let's go ahead and add another query params. So the second query param we are going to add is checked out to check if the book is available or not. So let's go ahead and add checked out. O capital. Remember, these are case sensitive. Okay. And here, what value what we want to see is we want to see only available books. So checked out value will be false. Let's save this and let's send that. Now you can see that there are two filters applied. One is the genre, which is here, and then checked out, which is false. And if you see, all of them will have both the filters applied. Perfect, perfect. Awesome. Let's save this request. Make sure you save it before you move further. Okay. Now, is there other ways of doing that? Absolutely yes. So there's something called as path variable, which is exactly like query params, but instead of key value, we only have value. Now, Postman makes it easy because it provides you with UI and same structure. I'll show you how. But you can directly add value in front instead of mentioning what exactly the value is, because you are mentioning that in the path itself. Okay. So it's an easy way of kind of adding that, but there are, both have their advantages and disadvantages. You can kind of compare path variable and query params together right here in this table. So let's go ahead and add a path param. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to go ahead and create a new request called as get book by ID. And here ID is going to be the path param. So let's do that. Now here we have added two requests. Obviously the last one we duplicated, but this one we are going to add a new request. So how do you add a new request? You go to the name of the collection, go to these three dots and click on add request. Perfect. Now name it get book by ID. Awesome. So we save that. Now remember, we need to add the URL. So how can you add the URL? Do you need to remember it? Not really. We have used base URL, right? Remember? So you will open double curly braces and you can see base URL available. Let's use that / books. But here we want to use path variable. So now, because we are not using key value pair, you have to go add a / add : and add ID. Now, as soon as you do that, you will see the UI change and there is a new UI called as path variable. Now that is only because of Postman UI, which allows you to kind of do this exactly. And actually, you can actually see it in action. So if you go here in console, you can actually see that the previous request we sent had a key value pair, right? There is a key, there is a value. Now console is on the bottom left, okay? It's hidden. You don't have to do that, but you can actually see. So let's send this now because we'll need to add an ID, else it will give me an error, okay? So let's give it an ID. So what is the ID we need to give? So here you can see in the academy, they have mentioned an ID. So let's give that ID as an input. Save this request, send it. And you can see we were able to retrieve that particular book, right? But if you look at how this request actually got sent in the console, you can see that there is no key value pair. ID was actually directly added. But on the previous request, you saw key value pair. So that's the major difference in both, in how both these requests are actually sent. Awesome. Okay, done with get books by ID. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you're done. Yes, yes, yes. Done. Perfect. Quiz time incoming, folks. Quiz is incoming. Excited, excited. Okay, let's go for quiz. Quiz number 4. Query versus path parameter. Okay. So what type of parameter ID is below? Can someone tell me? Query or path? Very simple, very simple. A or B? Oh yes, it is a path parameter. A lot of confusion in the chat. Okay, tell me about this one. This should be easy. How many query params are present in this URL? Query params, okay? We just did something similar. 2, exactly. Nice. Okay. How many path parameters are documented in this endpoint? Now, this is also very tricky. Tell me how many. A little tricky. 0. Yeah, because then you will have that double colon forward slash. Remember that? Yeah. Awesome. So we passed on 3 on 3. Less than a minute, thanks to my awesome audience. Okay. Perfect. Now let's go ahead and add a book. So we have done read already. Now we will do create. And what else we want to do? Update and delete. So remember, full CRUD operation. So let's add a book. Now for adding book, we need to provide a body also, right? Because we need to add some data, obviously. So let's go ahead and add a book. Let's create a new request. So again, hover over Postman Library API v2, click on these 3 dots and click on add request. Let's name it add book. Cool. Now, before I type the URL, which method are we going to use for adding the book? Yes, yes, yes. Which method? Post method, right? Because we want to create something on the server. So we are going to use the post method. Perfect. Let's select the method as post. Now for the URL, what is the URL? Double curly braces open, base URL / books. Perfect. Save this and do a favor. Send this request for me. And tell me what do you see. It should be very straightforward. Send it and tell me what do you see. You should see an error message, a status code. Oh, someone said it rightly. It is 400. It says bad request. Why does it say bad request? Because the body is missing. We need to provide the body, right? We are making a post request. So we need to provide a body. How can I provide body? Remember last time I told you where are we cooking the request? We are cooking it right on the upper side. So here you can see this is where I can provide the body. So let's go ahead and click on body. Click on raw. Here it is already selected JSON, so we don't need to select JSON. And here we need to provide the details of the book like title, author, year published, all of that information. So let's get that from the academy. Now, if you scroll down a little bit more, you can actually see the JSON. Let's copy this, come back and paste it right here. Now, I want you to change the details of the book. Don't keep it exactly like that. So change it to, whatever favorite book you like. For me, it is, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. The author is Robert. Perfect. The genre is finance. And the year of publication is 1997. Coincidentally, I was also born that year. Okay. So you can see that I added the body. How did I add a body? Again, for people who want a revision, we selected a post method. We added the base URL. Then here we selected body, and then we selected raw. JSON was automatically selected, but make sure it is JSON. Then we copied this body from the academy and we pasted it here, made the changes which we wanted to. You don't typically need to make the change, but in our case, we will save the request. Remember to save the request and send it. Oh, again, we encountered the error. But what is different about this error? Can someone tell me? What is different? There is one thing which is different. Yeah, so the status code is, instead of 400, it is 401, which means you are unauthorized. You need to add a missing credentials. Why do we need an API key for an API? Very simple, right? Anyone can read the API. That's absolutely fine. But if I want someone to add to the server, I need to make sure they are authenticated to add that information to the server. So that's why we need an API key to authenticate people. Don't worry, everyone will receive 401. So let's go ahead and add an API key or add authorization. For us, we need to add a header called as API key and a value called as Postman rules. Let's go ahead and do the needful. So let's go to add book. Now, where are we going to add that? Remember, here is where you can add it. So click on headers. Now, inside headers, you need to add the key, API dash key. And then the value is going to be what? Postman rules. Yeah, I promise I did not name it. A Gen Z intern did. So yeah, I'm just kidding. We named it like that. Okay, for our Gen Z audience. So API dash key and Postman rules. Save this and hit the send. Now you will see a different status code, not 200, but tell me what the status code do you see? Yes, yes, yes. Exactly in the chat, 201. So 201 means created. So you created a resource on the server. And you can see that it returned an ID for us. Can we check if this really added, or I'm just faking it, right? I could be. So let's copy this ID. And where can I check if the book is added or not? I can go to get book by ID, right? Obviously, and I can check it here. If my request, this is optional, by the way, you don't have to do this, but I'm checking. And you can see that, oh yes, I indeed added this book right now, right? Amazing. Okay. So yeah, perfect. Let's do this. Give me an orange heart once you're done. I'll wait for you. Yeah, it's very simple, by the way, right? No? So we have done create. So yeah, we have done create now, and we have done read. Now update and delete, obviously we need to do. But before that, I will show you a lot more optimization. Done. Okay, that's amazing. A lot of you all have already done. If you're not done, you can also watch the video inside a video, or you can just rewind a little bit. Rewinding actually works better. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Let's go next. Okay, now imagine if you have to add this header for every given request. Is that painful? Initially, what did we learn? Dry. Don't repeat yourself, right? So we are going to follow the same principle. Why should we add header in every single request? Useless. We don't want to do that. So let's delete this. click on this delete button, delete on this delete header and save this. And let's add the authentication on the collection level using Postman authentication. So let's do that. So here you can see, click on the name of the collection on the top and it will open an overview section like this. So click on the name of the collection, it will open overview like this. And here you can see authorization tab. Okay. So again, I'm showing you, I clicked on the name of the collection and then it threw me on the authorization tab. Now, once I click on the authorization tab, I can go ahead and set the kind of authentication I want. So here I need to set the authentication as API key. So let's select on the drop down, go and select API. It's a little in bottom. So let's click API key. And then I need to set what? I need to set the key and I need to set the value. So let's set the key and the value. What was the key, folks? Do you remember it? API dash key. What was the value? Postman rules. Yes, yes, yes. Exactly. Cool. Now, do I need to just go back or do I need to save this? I absolutely need to save this. So click on save. Looks nice. Yes, yes, yes. Again, showing it. Click on the name of the collection. Go to authorization. On the drop down, select API key. Add the key, add the value, and add it to header. Now, this will be inherited to all the requests. So you don't need to authenticate no longer because you have already done it on the collection level itself using Postman auth helper. Easy, right? Yeah. So here you can delete the header which was there. And if you click on the hidden headers right here, you will actually see this header added. Yes. Now, if you want to override this, you can use the authorization tab, but I'll show you that later on, not right now. Perfect. Done, everyone? Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you're done, because this is a significant step. Okay. And then it's a quiz time. Perfect. I see a lot of people done. Amazing. Make sure you're saving these requests. Okay. If you're not saving this, it will show you a dot on the top. So make sure you're saving all the requests, because if not, you will face a lot of errors. This is a complete, hands-on workshop. So we'll test you. You'll actually claim your certificate sending an API request. Exactly. Right. That's much hands-on it is. Okay. So let's go ahead. We are done. Let's go next for our quiz. 2 questions. Okay, let's be quick. What could happen if you don't add authorization to your APIs? Select all the answers that apply. Your computer can explode. Your APIs will completely be open endpoints and anyone can access it. Unauthorized people will be able to access your data who shouldn't see your data. Bot should be able to flood your API with thousands of API calls. I see right answers in the chat. Amazing. I thought you're right. Yes, your computer is not going to explode. Yeah, I wanted to make a joke, but I'm not going to. Okay, let's click on the next question. You send this request in Postman and get this response code as 401. What is the error here? 401. Remember, folks, what is 401? We got that error. Path change, there's not enough space on the storage, storage space in the server. There are no issues. The request needs authorization. Yeah. Which one should I select? Perfect. Everyone says D. Let's hit submit. Wow. Oh, I got 1 out of 2 right. Why is that? Huh. Okay. This is incorrect. Oh, I actually selected your computer can oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I made a mistake there. You don't have to. If you can retake the quiz, but it doesn't matter because we can kind of move further. Okay. Okay. Even see, I failed even, with online exams. Yeah, I'm that bad at quizzes or exams in general. Okay. We are almost there, buddy. We have already done, almost all of that. There's also halfway check-in coming, which is almost 75% of the course. So let's go ahead, nail these 3 lessons and check our progress. Okay. Now variables in Postman, remember variables? Remember? Yeah. They were very nice, right? Why you could use these variables again to reference them, right? Now variables are there on multiple levels. We use collection level variables, right? Remember collection level variables, but there are multiple kinds of variables which you can use. So let's go ahead. Why do we use variable, by the way? To pass information between one request to another. And scripting will actually allow us to make the most out of variables, because manually we can create variables, but if we are able to create it via program, that's a complete game changer. So that's what scripting allows you to do. So scripting in Postman basically allows you to go ahead and set variables programmatically and do a lot more things, not just set variables. But it will help you to even kind of run the next request or call another API, get that data, and then fulfill this. So you could do a lot more things, and that's why you can run you can add 2 kinds of scripting: pre-request script and post-request script. The name itself defines it. Why pre and post? Because pre is before the request is sent and post is after the request is sent. So let's go ahead, use this, and kind of send write some scripts. We are going to use JavaScript, but remember, it's very, very simple. So let's go to add a book request. Now inside that, we need to go to scripting, and we need to, let's say, just log whatever we are getting. Okay. So that's the very first line which we will write anyway. So let's write console.log, console.log. And what you can log here is basically the response. So you can use PM object. Now PM object is basically the object which will allow you to access elements within your request or response. So you can say PM dot, you can see, you can see a lot more information here. So PM dot response, we want to kind of log, right? By the way, if you don't want to type it, you can actually log it. You can just copy paste the request, by the way, the code. So pm dot response dot json, bracket open close, and a semicolon at the very end. Awesome. So what this will do, it will log this request in the console. So let's save this and send it. Perfect. Nothing changed. Why? Because we logged it on the console, nothing crazy. So if you look, console is on the bottom right here. It's like hidden below there. So if you click on the console, you can actually see that it actually logged this. So let me zoom this in a little bit so that you can actually see the console. So you can see this is the console on the bottom left. On the bottom left, you will see the console. And here you can see that the request response, which we actually told it to log, it logged it on the console. Yeah. So that's our very first, outcome of this. Awesome. Now, but we don't want to do that. What we want to do is we want to save some of this in a variable and use it later on. Now, what is the use case? If I add a new book, let's say I go ahead and add a new book, the new book is added, right? But the ID is changed, right? It is not the same as the previous ID because it's a new book. Now, if I want to check it, I have to copy it. I have to copy this ID, go to get books by ID and paste it here manually. Manual work, right? Why should I do manual work if I can program it? You know where I'm getting at? Exactly. So let's go ahead and write script to automate this particular thing. So what we are going to do is we are going to save the ID in a variable named ID. And then we are going to use that UIID to, reference it anywhere else. Like for example, in update book, we will need that UUID, right? So yeah, exactly. So let's go ahead and do that. For that, we are going to use something called as set variable. So again, pm.collection variables.set variable method, which will allow us to set a variable via scripting. So let's go ahead and do that. The script is actually given to you, so you don't have to type it. So let's copy the script and save it in the post script tab. So remember, we want to add it in the post response. So script and post response, make sure you copy paste the scripting, which is given already in the academy. Awesome. Now what we need to do is we need to save this and we need to send it. Once you send it, Nothing will happen. Why? Because we did not do anything we did not log anything, we did not do anything crazy, but something happened. You'll be like, okay, did it really create a variable called as ID? How can I check? Yes, yes, yes. Come on, use your brains. I'm drawing it till then. I can click on the collection name. And then where can I click? Here. Variables. Exactly, my friends. Let's click on variable. And you can see this is the ID which was retrieved and now added right here. Now, where can I use it? Get books by ID. Let's go to get books by ID. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace this hard coded value by curly braces open, ID variable, save this request. And now whatever new book I add, I can actually see it added right here, right there. Yes or no? Is it fun? Absolutely fun. Yeah. Awesome. So yeah, don't repeat yourself. Now you can do a lot more things. You can save the title also and use it somewhere else, right? You can save other details also. But for our use case, we are just saving the ID. So again, people asking, where did I get this code from? Academy, folks, Academy. You look at the Academy. I added it in the scripting post response script, obviously. Now, if you go, you will create this variable called as ID and it will update it right here. You can use it in get books by ID or will use it further. Now, if you're done till here, you are amazing because the very next part is we are going to test it, whatever work you have done till now. So we are at the halfway test. And now we are going to test whatever you did against a collection. Let's go ahead and do that. This is the same shirt I'm wearing. Okay, matching. Okay, let's go ahead and create a fork copy. Now, can someone tell me what does fork means? Till then, I'll sip some water. Water is important, folks. Yeah, tell me, what does forking means? Forking means creating a copy. Yes, yes, yes. Perfect. Yeah. So let's go to the link and create a fork. So click on this link, which is the collection link. And here you can see this is the test collection, which we are going to use. Click on the test collection. And what we want to do is we want to create a fork copy of this. Now, how can you fork it? You can fork it in one of the two ways. The very easy way of forking it is obviously via, these three dots. I'll show you that a little bit later. But other option is to click on this fork button right here on the right hand side top. Okay. So what I'll show you, here you can click on test collection. You can click on these three dots and you can click on this fork option. If you can see it right here, both are same option. This is also the same option and this is also the same option. Okay. By the way, just a reminder, social media challenge is still going on. So participate in that. Okay. Okay. So let me go ahead and click on this fork button. And I'll not change the label. Workspace, you can actually already see here. Now I don't want to watch the collection because I don't want any notifications. Hit the fork button and it will create the copy of this original collection into my workspace. So see, creating a workspace saves, a lot of things for you, right? So here because everything is organized now in this particular workspace, right? So I can see that the test collection is added right here. Perfect. Now, what I want to do, watch very carefully. I want to test this collection inside in the test collection. So I need to provide it a URL called as submission URL, right? So let's do that. Okay. Now what I want you to do is go to Postman library API v2. Go here. Click on these three dots. Again, I'll highlight this so that you are at the very right collection. This is the collection. Click on the three dots and click on share. Once you click on share, you will see an option like this. Click on via API. Again, I'll show you what I actually just did here. I went ahead, clicked on library API v2, clicked on the share option, and here click on via API. It will ask you to generate a key. No worries. generate a key because it's private to you. You are using a personal workspace, so it will not expose anywhere. Okay. So we generated a key and we can copy this. It's a read-only key. So even if someone has access to it, it's fine actually. Not a big deal. But if there's something in, sensitive in your collection, then that's a problem because here we have API key and value, right? So we don't want to expose it on the internet. Okay. Cool. Again, I'll show you what I did. Postman library API, click on this 30 dots, click on share, click on via API, generate key and copy this URL. Make sure you copy this URL. Okay. Now, once the URL is copied, you can go to the test collection. Click on the test collection for me, please. I'll zoom this in for you folks to see. Click on the test collection for me. And then click on variables. Perfect. You will see the submission variable. What I want you to do is paste the URL which we just copied in the initial value and in the current value. Save this, please, please save this. Okay. So what is initial value? If you ever share this collection publicly, everyone will be able to see this value. That's why we don't store sensitive information there. Current value, you use it for your collection. You can kind of keep changing it. And if it is sensitive, you can keep it only in the current value. Okay. So what you did, you created, clicked on Postman Library API v2, click on share button, click on via API, copied this URL, went to, test collection and updated the variable submission. Save it, please save it. Okay. Now let's go to halfway check. Do nothing, just send this request. As soon as you send it, you will see a response 200. Okay. But you will also see something called as test results. So the body will return, obviously the body will return, but there will also be test request, test results. Okay. So we have basically written some tests, and if you click on it, you can see pass or fail. Yeah. I got 16 out of 16, which means I'm pass. Yay. See, I failed the quiz, but I passed the practical exam, big brain. Okay. But if you did everything like I did, you will also pass and you will see 16 out of 16, right? Make sure if you're not seeing 16 out of 16, that's because you have not saved the collection. You have not saved the request. Okay. So you don't have these many requests. Okay. Now for people, please mention in the chat how much you got, by the way. Okay. If you got 16 or 16, give me give me the confetti emoji. I'll also give you a confetti emoji. Wait. But for that, I'll have to stop screen sharing. So I'm not going to give you a confetti emoji. But yeah. Okay. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Oh yeah, some people say 14 on 16, 12 on 16. Why, people, you did not follow me along properly? Okay, you can rewind this video and go back to the request. But let's say if you don't get 16 on 16, if you get something like wrong, for example, I'm going to show you. Don't do anything. I'm just showing you, so don't do anything crazy. Okay. I'll show you how to troubleshoot it, right? So that is the way I'm showing you. So let's see if I go to halfway check, and if I have not done something right, you can see I'll see 15 on 16. And then it will tell me, if I click on failed, it will tell me what exactly is the problem. The problem is in this particular request. Okay. And it says check query params. Assertion error. There's also a fix provided, by the way. There should be two query params, John equal to fiction and checked out equal to false. Okay. So the problem is with these two query params, they should be genre equal to fiction and checked out equal to false. Okay. So I know this is where the error is. Okay. By the way, if you go in halfway check, you can actually see there is a Q&A, just below here. And you will also see there is a proper FAQ. There's also, the Discord channel, which is step number 3, by the way, here. Okay. So if you go here, you can see step number 3. We are talking about Swag just below, just up there. You can see the Discord server, right? But you can also join the Discord server from this URL. So if you go here, you can actually see here, and you can see the detailed FAQ. If you scroll down a little bit, there is a FAQ section also right here. And if you open FAQ, you can see detailed FAQ for each test, and you can verify which test you are failing. So here, here in the halfway check, I'm feeling fix. There should be two query params. So this is my test. Okay, I'm gonna copy it exactly till there. I'm going to come here, Control F and Control V, and you can see what is the fix. Please make sure to set the query params correctly. Query one param is genre equal to value. Query two param is equal to checkout equal to value equal to false. Okay, let's go here. Let's go to get fiction books by ID. Sorry, get fiction books. And here you can see genre. Oh, it's S extra. So let's remove that. And checked out should be false. Okay, let's keep it false. Save it. Perfect. Now if I run it, the error should go away, right? And I should say 16 on 16. Let's run it. Yay, I solved that, troubleshooted it. So see, this is the part of your programming life, folks. You have chosen this. You have to choose in once. So yeah, go ahead and try this out. If not, what you could also do is join the Discord server. As I mentioned, there is a Discord server available right there. So you can kind of go ahead and join the Discord server as well. Okay. Remember, the Discord server is actually really nice, a really nice place where you could actually kind of go ahead and see stuff. Here you can see in the Discord server, we actually have exactly the same forum. So here, if you are getting errors, you can search for the error. So for example, if I'm getting error in get books, I can search for get books, and I can actually see what is the solution for this error. So we have gone all the way and shown you like different ways of resolving your error. So don't tell me you are still receiving an error. If you are still receiving an error, it's your duty to solve it. Go ahead and solve it. Okay, I believe you can do it. Okay, now for people who have solved the error, let's close all of these tabs and let's go back to the academy, and we will continue from here. This is the very last quiz. A little sad we'll no longer get to do the quiz, but yeah, because we are also at the end of the course, so that is awesome. Let's go ahead and start this quiz. Okay, so choose all the answers that apply. Postman allows you to save the values as variables so that you can spend more time reading the API first world. Well, I would want you to do that. Reuse values to keep your work dry. Absolutely. Cool off your computer. Hide sensitive values like API keys. Yeah, that's nice. Submit quiz. Oh yeah, that's perfect. We got 100%. Okay, cool. Now it's time to update the book. So we need to update if someone takes the book from us, right? So we need to update it, right? We need to update our database. So we need to check out a book. So here we are going to use put or patch method to kind of do that. In our case, we'll use patch because we are updating partial value. If you're updating the whole thing, you can use put. You can use them interchangeably also, not a hard and fast rule. But remember, patch for updating part of the value, put for updating the whole body itself. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. I'm still seeing you're getting errors. Folks, don't post it in the chat. Go to the FAQ, solve it. You can continue, you can come back or continue from here. Okay, yeah. You're participating in the challenge also, right? I'll check on Twitter. I'll like every tweet which is participating. Don't worry about it. Okay. So let's go ahead and change the checkout from false to true. Let's do that. So we'll add a new request and we'll name it checkout a book. Okay, let's do that. Let's go here. Let's add a new request in the Postman library API, not in collection test, because there we only need to do this. Okay, let's go here. Click on these three dots. Click on add a request. Name it checkout book. Okay. The URL, the method is going to be, I just talked about it. Tell me. Patch method. Perfect. URL. Now I don't need to repeat myself. Base URL is already here. / books. But remember, we need to update a particular book, right? So we need to provide an ID. How can I provide an ID? Using path variable. So add a / and you can see it is giving us a suggestion. So we can use that suggestion, right? Now what will be the value of ID? DRY, remember, don't repeat yourself. So value, do we need to manually provide it? No, we created a variable using scripting. So let's provide that. So let's add the ID variable right here. Save this. Should I send it? No, we need to add the body also, right? So let's click on body. We added the ID, made sure the ID is the variable name. Then we click on body, and then we are going to add the body. So what we are going to add here, again, remember not the script, the body. I clicked on the wrong button. So click on body, click on raw, and we need to add check. We need to update checked out, right? So it's going to be key value pair. Now, if you remember it, that's amazing. If you don't remember it, no worries, right? Because you can always go to Academy, and the Academy will always have the value for you. So checked out, and we need to make it true. And that is going to be true. From false, we are going to make it true. Looks nice. By the way, you can just copy paste it. You don't have to. Send it. And you'll see that the value is updated from false to true. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. Do this quickly. I added, the URL like this, added ID as, the variable, and then went to body, clicked on raw, clicked on JSON, added the body from the Academy, send the request and updated the checked out from false to true. Perfect. Now, can you do the delete book for me? Checkout book done. Give me a thumbs up if you're done with checkout. No, let's change the emoji. No longer thumbs up. Thumbs up is boring now. Let's do orange heart, or give me your favorite emoji. You're definitely not giving me a red heart. Yeah, but give me an orange heart, okay? Yeah, I see your funny folks. Keep your humor amazing. Don't go dark, but amazing humor. Nice. Let's keep it family friendly. Okay, because there are lots of kids chatting, so we have to keep it that way. Okay. Done. Give me emoji. Oh, I see ranges of emoji and emotions in the chat. Amazing. Super amazing, folks. Yeah. Perfect. Can you do the delete books for me? You are going to use delete method, so it's going to be very easy. Can you do that for me? Yes. Do it. I'll show you. Don't worry, because I also have to finish the certification, so I'll show you as well. But go ahead and do it. I'll give you a minute. Yeah, I'm just going to look at the screen till you folks are doing it. It's easy, by the way. Remember, the social media challenge is still going on. You can still win this awesome t-shirts like these, zippers, whatnot. And fill out the form. Don't forget to fill out the form, by the way. By the way, we'll also run another challenge which you can also participate. So you got two chances to win. I'll talk about this challenge a little bit later, and we'll update the winners right here, by the way. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Done. Oh, few people done. That's amazing. Okay, let me do it. So checkout book. After checkout book, we need to add a delete book. So let's go ahead and add a new request. 3 dots. Add request. Name it delete book. Method is going to be delete, obviously. The URL. Let's see what the URL is on the Academy, because I don't remember. Okay, it's exactly like the checkout. Okay, let's copy this. Copy paste it. It's fine. Or else you can type it also. It will give you in suggestion also. The ID will provide the variable ID, which we kind of set earlier. Cool. Let's send this. Remember, the method is delete. Okay. We did not receive anything, and we got the status code as 204, which is no content. Okay. If I send it again, will it delete it again? Yes or no? It should give us 404. Exactly, because it does not exist. We deleted it already. Perfect. So we are done. We are done till here. We are done with 95% of the course. Why I'm saying this? Because go to final check and run the final check. Go to checkout, collection test, and in final test, final check, run it. You will see that 22 out of 28 is passing. Click on failed, and you will only see the skill check request remaining. So only 6 remaining. We passed 22 because of checkout and delete book, right? So we passed more. and we can see 22 out of 28 tests are passing. And you can actually see, if you see error like this, type error, cannot read the property, it means the request is not there. Okay. Now, if you don't trust my word for it, you can actually copy this. And, I told you, I have, the Discord server is very helpful, right? So if you copy this, and if you go to the Discord server itself, let me show you there. Here you can, paste it, and you will see this error. And what it says is the request is not present, right? Exactly, the request is not present. Let's make it happen. Okay. Let's go back there, and let's add these requests and make it 100%, 28 out of 28. Okay. So how did I check that? Final check, by the way, final check. Okay. In collection test, just run it, nothing else. You don't have to make any changes because we already set the variable, perfect. Okay. So we have done with delete. Let's go next. Generating code snippets. By the way, this is an amazing feature. I'll just show you, because it's something. So if you go to delete book, and if on the right hand side, let me highlight that with a marker so that you folks are able to see it, because it is right there. So you can see this particular section. You can see, the code snippet section. So if you go here and click on this particular icon, you will see code snippet, and you can select whatever language you like, and it will generate the starter code for you. So I'm usually coding in JavaScript, so I can go here and I can select Axios Node.js, and you can see it gives us the basic structure of this. Isn't that nice? Yeah, that's an amazing code gen feature. You can use it. Okay. Let's go back and go to skill check. This is the final item. We are almost hitting 2 hours mark, 20 more minutes to go, and we'll finish the course before that. Can you imagine it? Yeah, nice, right? Okay, let's do that. One API call and 6 stars. Let's go. We are ready. I hope you all can do the simple CRUD operation which they are asking you to do, right? Let's go ahead. So the scenario changes. You are in a movie theater. Now we are no longer a librarian. We need to spice things up, change the roles. So from librarian to you are now a movie goer. So you are maintaining a movie theater API. So what you want to do is, take a poll to understand, who are their favorite actors. So you're going to kind of, add a new request called as skill check. So task number 1, make the request called skill check, added under delete book. Okay. Now the order of request is very important. So make sure all the requests are in this order. If it is not, you can drag and drop them. Okay. But what we need to do is we need to create a new request below delete book. So let's go here, add on, click on these 3 dots and click on add request. Name it a skill check. Okay, nice. Now what I need to do inside this request, we will mimic a request movie theater, okay, using echo. So this is the URL, okay. And what is the method? Method is post method, okay. So the method is going to be post method, and the URL, they have given us the URL. Perfect. Save this, send it. Works like a charm. Let's go to final check and see if this is gone. The first one it should be gone. So let's hit send. And you can see that the first one is gone, which is 23 out of 28. 5 more to go. Perfect. You can now see there is like, fix available. Like, they are telling us to fix, but we don't need to because we are going to fix it ourselves. Okay. Perfect. So let's go to skill check. The first part is done. Task number 2, add a query parameter called as movie name. Okay, query parameter movie name in capital, and set it to your favorite movie. Okay, that's easy. So let's go here. Query parameters, you folks remember, right? So params, inside params, there is query params right here. And then we need to add a key and we need to add a value. This is inside the skill check request. So make sure you're adding it inside that. Okay, so what is the key is movie name. Oh, not name. And name of the movie. What is your favorite movie? For me, there are a lot of favorite movies. I really like comedy movies, and the previous one, Priyadarshini types movies. I like Hera Fairy, Fir Hera Fairy, Welcome, So I'll say welcome. Okay, let's clear this drawings. Looks good. Save this and send it. So echo, technically what it does is it just returns back whatever we send it. So you can see in args we send movie name, so it just returned that back. So Postman echo basically does that, just FYI as your information. Okay. So we added this, we saved this request. Let's go and check final check. Second should also be marked. Amazing. Second is also marked as pass. 24 out of 20. Now I'm not going to create suspense. I'm going to do all of that and then, do the final check. Remember, if you're failing it, you can check the error message and go and actually troubleshoot it on the Discord server. I've already shown you that. And FAQ, which is also mentioned right below here. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Task number 2 also done. Task number 3. Simplify the request by replacing the URL with the collection variable called a skill check base URL. Okay, that's a big name. So let's copy it instead of making a mistake. So I'll copy this. Now I need to change the skill check URL from M till the H to skill check. Okay, you know the drill. We have done this before. So copy from M till H, set as variable. New variable, name it whatever they have given us, collection level variable obviously, and set as variable. Remember, I'll show you once again how to do that. From M, copy all the way till H, like we did earlier. Oh, make sure you are copying till H, okay? Till H, set as variable, set as new variable, not base URL, okay? Set as new variable. Whatever name they have given us, I got this name from right here in task number 3. Scope is collection level and set it. Once you set it, make sure you are saving it because that is very important. And now if you check the collection name and click on variables, you can see this new skill check, base URL added, which is amazing. Okay. So the base URL is set. Perfect. Now I need to use API authorization. So I need to add a movie theater API key as a student expert and value as a skill check. Request level using, so remember, very key detail, request level. Okay, we don't need to set it on collection level because that's a different story. So how do we set a request level authorization? Can you help me figure that out? Exactly. Yeah, so let's click on this authorization tab and do the needful. Click on authorization tab. I don't want to inherit from parent because they have told me to set an API key itself. So check API key. Let me zoom this out a little bit. Okay, so what I did, I went, selected authorization. Authorization type is API key because that's what they have told us. There is going to be key and there is going to be value. So let's add key and value. Key is what? Key is a student dash expert and value is skill check. Okay. So student dash expert and value is a skill check. Okay, perfect. Let's save this request and let's send this request. Looks nice. Okay, perfect. Let's clear all the drawings and this looks awesome. Now let's check final check one last time. We need to add 2 more, things and then we are done. So let's go ahead and add these 2 more things. Let's go here and add a JSON and, add the variable. Okay. So let's go ahead and add a body called as actor name and then add, like our favorite actor name from step 2. Okay, cool. So before doing that, I'm really thirsty, so I'll sip a little bit of water. But remember, you can easily troubleshoot it. You can easily do all of that. We are still 15 minutes to go to 2 hours, which means we are finished way early, by the way. Okay, how awesome that is. Okay, now let's go ahead and quickly do that. So go to skill check, go to body. Again, we need to click on raw and add the body. Now the body is going to be the actor name itself. So double quotes. I guess actor name, actor will be, small and name is capital. So let's add actor name. and the value is going to be your favorite actor. So in welcome, my favorite actor is Akshay Kumar. So let's add that right here, save it, and send the request. Cool. So you can see that in the data, we can see Akshay Kumar added, which is awesome. So now we need to only do the last task, which is task number 6, where we have to go ahead, set a variable using post response script. Okay. So this is exactly how we did it earlier. So we need to go here and add a script in post response script. We need to save this favorite actor name, which we just added, as a variable called as favorite actor. Okay. And name it. Okay. Now I'm going to show you a little bit of trick. It's a little secret. Don't tell anyone. So you can see this floating window right here in the scripting. You might have seen it earlier in scripts. Yes, yes, yes. Click on it. That's called as postbot. It's our AI assistant. Now you get it where I'm getting at. It's our chat GPT, which can help you to do a lot more things. So let's do that. Let's clear all this drawing, and it will help us write the script. Please don't tell anyone, I have teach you this secret. So what we need to do is give a prompt. Now I have designed this course in a simple way that you have the prompt ready. So you're going to copy from write a script till the very end, copy this, and paste that right here in the postbot. Now remember, this is the postbot symbol, okay, right here. And it will open and go to next and add the prompt. Prompt I copied from Academy, hit, hit run. And it should technically solve that for us. Okay, let's see if it does. So it has added that for us, and that's perfect. Okay, that is exactly what we were looking for. Does it make sense? Yeah, it is same, right? By the way. So thank you, Postbot. Say thank you to Postbot. Thank you, Postbot. Okay. It says you're welcome. Okay, I don't need anything from you right now. You've already helped me enough. Okay, save this, send it. If you send it, what will happen? Nothing will change, right? Something will change. How can I check the new variable which is created? So go to Postman Library API and you can see the favorite actor new variable added, and it has the value of the actor which we added, right? How awesome that is. Perfect. Let's go to final check, and these two should be checked out by now. Amazing. So 28 out of 28, we can see all we have passed the test. And now is the time that I'm going to give you a confetti. Congratulations if you got 22 out of 22. But if you did not get 22 out of 22, sorry, not 22, actually 28 out of 28, not 20, sorry. My bad, 28 out of 28. Okay. So yeah, that's super amazing. Now it's not over yet. It's not over. Don't go. Okay, don't leave, because you still need to claim your certificate. So we are going to do that. Okay. Now, if you're still not able to do that, remember we have the Discord server where you get dedicated help. We also have the detailed FAQ. I told you, right? The detailed FAQ is actually very, very helpful. So if you go here, you can check out the detailed FAQ and see, what error you're getting. We also have dedicated one for skill check. So you can definitely go ahead and, try it out. I highly, highly recommend you to check that out. Okay. Perfect. Let's go next and claim our certificate. Okay. So recap, what did we learn about? Come on. Do a very quick 1-minute recap. I want you folks to answer this. What are APIs? Yeah. Waiters of the internet. Yeah. So one application talking to other application, very simple application programming interfaces. What is Postman? API platform. We saw how easy Postman makes to work with APIs. How to build API request, methods, URLs, multiple methods, URLs, right? We saw how do we use the responses, status code, test results, everything, API documentation, authorization. Why do we need it? Keep the bad guys away, right? Set variables, Dry, don't repeat yourself. Automate with scripting. We use the very simple scripting, but you can go advanced. Generate API code snippet. Obviously, we saw that as well. Remember, you can connect with me, right here, and the challenges are still going on. So participate in that. I'll talk about Student Expert Challenge just after we claim our badge. Okay. So all the requests are in this order. Yes, looks good. Now what we need to do is we need to copy this. Okay. We need to copy this body. So let's copy this body. Go to the final check. Go to the submit request in the collection test. So let me use the pen and highlight it for you folks. So this collection test collection, inside that you need to click on the submit request, and inside that click on body, click on raw, obviously because we want to add the body right here. Click on raw and then paste the body from the academy. So where did you copy the body from the academy? Right here you can see the body which we just copied. It is unique for you, it is unique for each one. That's why I cannot share my body with you. Okay. Yeah, send this. Remember, this will be logged because unless and until you unlock this, it will not work. Okay. So let's save this and send it. Once you send it, you will see congratulations, the lesson has been completed. It is marked completed. Now, if you come back here, you can actually see that, your lesson will be unlocked now. You can see you can click on next, which is perfect. Let's click on next. Yay. Now it's time to claim our badge. Still, we have not claimed our badge. We are almost there, Okay. Let's claim the badge. Remember the URL, JSON URL, which we copied earlier to add in the submission variable. Let's copy that. So go to collection test and from the initial value, copy this URL. We set it right. So let's copy that URL. Come back here and paste it. There's another way of getting that. Obviously, you can get it from there and hit claim badge. As soon as you hit that, it will go ahead and allow you to claim your badge. It will take a moment, obviously, so give it some time. Because of traffic also, it takes some time sometimes. So you can see, yay, we have been awarded the badge. I'll show you how to download the certificate, by the way. But yeah, if you're not participated yet, this is the right time to participate. By the way, we are also running the Student Expert Challenge, right time to talk about it as well. Once you have completed the certification, which you have done right now, you can go ahead and share a summary of whatever you learned in the certification, share the certification URL so that others can also kind of see that URL, right? And, in a similar format. So make sure you are adding your Badger link and fill out this form. We are awarding a lot of kits, a lot of swags for both the challenges. Okay. So make sure you participate in both of them to maximize that you're winning it. So if you go back to your actually Gmail, so let me go back to Gmail. And I can see I got the badge awarded. You can see the Badger URL. Sometimes it takes time. Okay. So be patient, folks. Sometimes it might take up to 24 hours to receive. Okay. So no worries. You can see the URL. So let's go to the URL. And this is my Badger URL, which I can actually see. Oh, by the way, you can sign in using the Google account here also, or, email ID password. That's absolutely fine. You can see the badge, which I got just right now. Click on it. Yay. Okay. Now, how do you download the certificates? Click on these three dots on the top. Let me show you how it looks like. So right here on the very top, click on these three dots and click on print certificate. And you can see actually the certificate with your name on it. Remember, you can hide this email, so it's not a problem. You can hide that if you have privacy concerns. Go to your account setting and hide it. But yeah, this is your digital badge. You can share it directly using the URL, and I hope you enjoyed this workshop throughoutly, right? Now, one more thing before you leave, please leave amazing feedback for me. Start the survey. Tell all about what you liked, what you did not like, how difficult it was, how easy it was, and finish the survey for me. Please do the survey. Very important for us to know. And if you really loved my teaching style, feel free to go ahead and connect with me right here on different platforms. I keep writing amazing stuff on LinkedIn. I make amazing reels on Instagram, and I rant about stuff on Twitter. So you can choose the platform you want to connect with me, on, and connect with me. Thank you so much again, once again, for joining and doing this completely with me. Remember, we'll announce the winners right here and on the social challenge. By the way, I've added plugged in an amazing opportunity right there. If you want to participate in a hackathon, it's something which you can actually participate in as well, uh, completely for free. So yeah, before I go, I'll give you all a heart for staying throughout, the workshop, and a confetti for all of you who completed the certification. If you're still experiencing error, don't worry. You can go ahead and you can clear it out and get the certification. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a happy rest of your day, and bye bye.